I just how I come at your job, man. My nigga say that shit, Terry Fisher, man. You know what I'm saying? Free me, my nigga. Free me. I've been down for the dollars, nigga. I'm so official, nigga. For sure, man. Free Roddy, nigga.
Eddie got another one.
What up? What up? What's happening? You already know. It's outside looking inside, surviving prison. Fatty low. Got my little notes here. I want to make sure I stay all the way on track with this one. This gonna be a good one. But if you ain't hit that subscribe button yet, you tripping. Go on, hit that. Hit the like button, like, dislike, however you feel. You know what I'm saying? But on here we ain't gonna deal with number facts. So without further ado, let me get off into it. Like this one right here, I'm gonna talk about the parole board, my own personal views and beliefs on parole board. Like I said, I got my little notes here. I want to stay right with it, so you can follow me and understand. Because like how I feel now may not be the popular vote amongst my peers, but you know it's facts. Anybody with common sense, if you just listen to what I'm saying, you know, can agree. And this ain't just something that I think. This is really how I feel over the years of me uh, watching people go to the parole board and actually going to the parole board myself. I went 3 times. So I got a parole on my third time. So I know what's going on. In my own opinion, and I'm not just saying I don't feel this way now because I got a parole. I'm saying this because it's facts. It's true. In my own opinion, the parole board has a very, very hard job. A very hard job. They have to make the decision whether to release murderers, rapists, robbers, you know, etc. back into society, back around the law, the good people, the law-abiding, tax-paying citizens that don't do no murdering and raping and robbing, and you know what I'm saying. So they got to make that decision, basically co-sign, put their name on me, basically saying, yeah, we talked to him, we evaluated him, we feel like he's ready to be back into society. So in the event that they do that, and I come back out here and I do something crazy, I do what I did to end up in prison, or worse, as backlash on the parole board. And once that happened, then guess what? The next batch of people that's coming up for paroles gonna get banged. Nobody ain't getting no parole. Nobody ain't getting no cosign. Nobody. So that look like what one person do can affect like 10, 15 people just in one penitentiary. But it could affect a whole bunch of people. And just think like just to happen so much. Just to happen so much to where now it makes sense to me for the parole board to come in with the mentality of we not giving nobody no paroles. We're not giving nobody no paroles. You know, why should we? Because off top, you got the victims advocates that's fighting to keep people that committed crimes, that got victims in prison. So for you to get a parole, the parole board is going against them off top. Then if you come home and you commit a crime, you commit the crime again or worse, now everybody else chiming in. Oh, this person was locked up for X, Y, and Z. Why? How did he get a parole? How is he back out here anyway? Now look what that happened. You know what I'm saying? The parole board dropped the ball and blah, 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 and all this and that. So now that's why they coming down harder. That's why they will come down harder on inmates, the parole board, once that happened. Let me look at my notes. So yeah, they ain't co-signing. You can forget it. If it's your first time going up for parole, it's bad for you. It's bad for you because just think about it. All the parole board know about you is the file that they got on you. What's in that file? Damn sure ain't nothing to talk about you running no burning building, saving no cats, or passing out no book bags in the neighborhood, or no turkeys on Thanksgiving throughout the strip. Nah, that's all of your criminal history. That's all they got is your criminal history, even back to juvenile. No matter what it was, man, I had got the opportunity to get my paperwork, man, and I was embarrassed. I was so embarrassed reading all of the stuff that I had in my file. And I thought, like, man, this all they know about me. So you wonder why, like, I wonder why, like, I go in the room and talk to them. They got attitudes. Everybody got attitudes already. Because all they know about you is they think you a hoodlum. You a hoodlum. Flat out. And that's it. They don't know nothing about, they just got your past. All your criminal activity. All your criminal activity. So if it's your first time going up, you can forget it. I don't care if you got a 15 to life and you go see him in 11 years or 6 months of that, and you ain't had a ticket or been in no type of trouble in all that time. You still getting some time, and they gonna say it's because of the nature of the crime that they giving you this continuance to come back and see them in 57 months or however long they decide. You know what I'm saying? Your second time up is your best chance of getting a parole. But yeah, like I said, that file ain't got nothing but all bad stuff in it. So that's what they going on for. They looking at you crazy anyway for that. Um, so 99% of the time you getting flopped your first time going up, you know, it's definitely gonna be a no. But you stand a chance your second time, like a 80-20, like a 80-20. It depends on you though. It depends on the individual. It depends on your institutional performance. It depends on what the victim's saying or the victim's family is saying, how hard they lobbying against keeping you in, or sometimes I've seen them ask for releases for inmates, but you know it depends on that. It depends on how well you speak. If you take accountability for your actions, if you show remorse and genuinely be sincere, that's all of the things that the parole board really looking for to let you go home after your second or third time up. Not the first time. You either gonna do it on your second one or your third one, not the first one. Um, yeah, they got a hard job. They got a hard job. Tough. They got to make tough decisions. I know a lot of people probably ain't gonna feel what I'm saying, but man, it's the truth. It's the truth. I have my notes. I kind of skipped over some stuff, but that's basically it in a nutshell for that. So, like I said, man, it really don't matter. Your first time going up, okay, let's say I'm gonna give you this example. Say you got a 15 in life. You go to the parole board in 11 years, 6 months. So you got in them 11 years, 6 months, you got 3 fights. You had 3 fights. You got 2 disrespect tickets, and you got a hooch ticket, a wine ticket, that's 5, and you got an out of place ticket, that's 6. So you got 6 tickets in 11 years and 6 months. And you caught all 6 of them tickets your first 5 years in prison. So for 6.5 years, you ain't had no trouble in prison. No trouble. When you go to the parole board, they're going to ask you about your case, the crime you locked up for. They're going to get through that. Then they're going to ask you about them 6 tickets. It don't matter that it happened 6.5 years ago. Nah. It don't matter. Your crime happened 11 years and 6 months ago. Them tickets was 5 years ago. And you've been clean for 6.5 years. You turned your life over to the Lord and everything. None of that's going to matter. None of that's going to matter. That's just going to be their reason to give you some time. So they're going to check that nature of the crime box, and they're going to check poor institutional performance on your paper, and give you that paper with your continuance date on there and send you back in prison. So now listen, they didn't talk about everything. They didn't talk about the case you caught and came to prison. They didn't talk about them little 6 tickets. Now they ain't got nothing else to talk about. So if you go back, they give you 57 months, you go back into the institution, you do the 57 months, you come back up for a parole after the 57 months. You ain't caught no more tickets, no nothing. What they got to talk about? They're going to talk about your crime. They're going to talk about the case that you locked up for. So if you take, if you be accountable for your action, not none of that, my cousin Junebug came and picked me up and told me blah, 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 and I was just driving, I ain't do the shooting. Nah, none of that. None of that's going to work. You got to take responsibility. You got to take all of the responsibility for your actions. I was there. I should have never been there. It was a horrible decision. I wish I never would have made the decision that I made. I'm smarter than that. I'm not that same person. Like those type of things. You gotta have those. You gotta have those type of feelings. You gotta be that type of person when you talking to the parole board. You know what I'm saying? That time you gotta take responsibility for your actions, man. You gotta be accountable for your actions, and you gotta like show remorse. You gotta apologize. If you got a victim, say your victim's name. Don't say your victim's name. Apologize to them. Talk about how you address your issues. Like if you had drug problems, show that you addressed them. Take drug treatment classes. If you anger problems, you took anger management classes and victims awareness classes, and you gotta address your issues. You gotta show that you rehabilitated and show how you got rehabilitated, and talk to them and let them know that you rehabilitated. Show them that you rehabilitated, because like I said, all they got is that file, that bad file with all of the bad stuff on it. So you got to talk to them and let them know that you're not that person no more. You far removed from being that person. You're not the same person no more. Yeah, you got to go in there, and then you got to remember too. It's a lot of con artists. So a lot of people that done did this and really weren't sincere and got out and ended up messing up for the next batch of people that was coming up in line for parole. Like I feel like I was in that group, but at the same time I was still messing up too when I was in penitentiary. I messed up all while I was in the penitentiary until like this last little stretch when I was released. But before then, I always try to, be slick and do what I do. Do what I was doing, you feel me? But I figured it out. I knew I had to, people, places, and things. I had to change it up. I had to switch it up. I had to get out of the group and stand on the sideline and look into the group to see, like, man, I look crazy. Outside looking inside, you know what I'm saying? If you ain't subscribed yet, man, hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button, that dislike button, man. It's going to be a whole bunch of stuff. Got stuff lined up, and it's going to be on the popping. People, places, and things, man, you change that, you get yourself on the right track. You feel me? But yeah, these just my views and my opinions on the parole board. It's just how I feel, Let me know how you feel. Hit me up at KingFatty0 at gmail.com. That's KINGFATTY0 at gmail.com. You're going to see it pop up on the screen. Stick with me. Hit that subscribe button, that like button. You feel me? I'm going to be dropping these on. Put one out every Sunday. Might do one Thursday and Sunday. I don't know. I'm going to let you know how that's going to go Sunday. But yeah. Whole bunch of new stuff coming out, man. Whole bunch of good topics, good conversations, good interviews, man. So, ride with your boy. Big facts, you heard me? Outside looking inside. Surviving prison. It's your guy. I'm out here. You feel me? 1,000.
I'm so official. I do what I want because I know that I can. I'm so official. I do, so homie, I'm a made man.